Allez, on continue. Donc on était sur... on était où? Je sais plus. Ah, je meurs. Alors je préviens, je risque de tousser. Je me muterai un maximum, pour pas vous déranger. Yes. Ouais, faut que je retourne dans les ruines. Pourquoi je suis... Oh. Ah, attends. Regardez. Alors je suis là, les ruines sont là. Les ruines sont là, juste au nous. Eh ben on y va. Voilà. Allez go. Sac à main. C'est où? Alors, ça va.
Stop light.
Donc on avait résolu la dernière énigme, il fallait qu'on retrouve la tombe de machin. On va y retourner, on va voir. On avait fait cette quête-ci, donc on avait remis, on avait un indice sur le fait que elle était là. Je me suis souvenu après avoir quitté le stream. En effet, ici, normalement, on devait avoir la statue du mec à la tête de lion. C'est Titus, je crois. Tout simplement parce qu'il disait, on a retrouvé une statue. Elle était le plus proche de la mer, elle avait une tête de lion. Je vais te mettre dans le bon sens après, en fonction de leur préférence de divinité. Et du coup, après, ça disait quoi? Non. Non. Voilà. Le son du jeu est pas trop fort. Oh. Ça devrait aller un peu fort. Mon son à moitié. Pas de bon pot. Alors. Voilà. Vitus repose à proximité. Que celui qui souhaite perturber son sommeil prenne garde, car il est protégé par les regards de son frère et du vent d'automne. Le vent d'automne c'était lui parce que c'est le vent d'ouest, donc c'est russe. Lui qui était là et lui c'était Vitus. S'il était là, techniquement, c'est là-bas qu'il faut. Et bon. En même temps, ah ouais.
Here is your discovery, Mr. Swift. Hey, look at this.
What have you found? Don't let anyone touch anything there. Eureka! I found you, my friend.
Et maintenant. Ah bah non, vu qu'il est occupé. Allez hop. Donc monsieur est occupé, je vais aller fouiller un petit peu ses affaires. La tombe, nous on s'en fout. Hop, voilà. Déchet tranquillisant.
A box of darts. Handy against rodents of all kinds.
Ah, un livre sur l'éléphant. De trompes et de défense. Le très populaire ouvrage de trompe et de défense fournit une description scientifique détaillée et méthodique de l'éléphant. Il adopte une approche presque encyclopédique dans son analyse de la vie de cette espèce, tant en captivité qu'en liberté. Un chapitre très intéressant décrit la saison des amours des éléphants, durant laquelle ces derniers deviennent particulièrement dangereux. De plus, le livre explique comment il est possible de communiquer et d'interagir. Ça fait de lui un gros suspect. Alors, le journal intime d'Arthur Swift. Décidément, excusez-moi, Il est décrit avec minutie sa vie personnelle et ses recherches, mais ce qui nous intéresse ici est le passage sur la dispute qu'il a opposé, qui a opposé l'archéologue à Théodore Gilden, notre victime, au sujet du site de fouille. Jour 1224. Oh là là, c'est long. Théodore use de ses richesses pour étreindre les plaintes. J'aurais préféré qu'il s'achète un cerveau aux ineptes efficaces. Il est enfin un esprit plus large. Le monde ne tourne pas autour de son satané éléphant. Il ne reste plus que quelques mois avant le début de ses travaux de construction. Il lui manque même l'imagination nécessaire pour en faire quelque chose de sublime. Et ben d'y voir. Quelle banalité. Il me faut trouver une solution pour empêcher l'ensevelissement irrémédiable d'un trésor historique sous monceau de séquence.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Trying to take over my research, are you? I come here to pick up my diary, and I find you snooping around. Explain yourself.
Mr. Swift, if that were true, I would have been on my way to the newspaper. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself properly.
Outrageous! You deceived me, sir. What is the reason for your being here? Who sent you, Mr. Holmes?
Theodore Gilden's premature death brought me here.
Theodore is dead? How can that be possible?
I'm thinking of all the possibilities, and I'm not crossing out anyone who might have been involved. Even his elephant. The land you're excavating belongs to Mr. Gilden, does it not?
Did I hear an accusation? I have nothing to hide. You can ask me whatever nonsense you've prepared as a token of my diminishing respect towards you.
Very well, Mr. Swift. I appreciate your cooperation.
Alors.
When was the last time you saw Mr. Gilden?
A couple of days ago. We discussed the site. I believe in the tomb and its secrets. Theodore's patience was stretched, however. He was already inventing new projects. It wasn't a long conversation. I suppose that his daughter will inherit everything now, along with all of the eccentricities and problems.
And not forgetting Goliath.
Eccentricities and problems, Mr. Holmes. One of many.
Were you at the site this morning?
Affirmative. This project is taking a lot of my time, as you see. I spend more time underground than on the surface.
When did you learn about Theodore's death?
Just now. You just told me.
And you aren't surprised, shocked? I won't tell anyone if you shed a tear or two. Weren't you partners, after all?
We were. And it is a real shame. But I've seen too many deaths in my life, Mr. Holmes, for the news to truly shake me. Will you allow me to return to my research? Or are you insisting on remaining an obstacle?
Oh, I haven't even started yet.
Alors. Donc ce qui est dérangeant, c'est qu'il a une boîte de fléchettes.
What's with this box of darts? Is it for a scientific argument?
A little darker than that. Rather for killing the kind of rodents that might nibble a nose or a toe in your sleep.
Let's just say I have to protect myself against a larger animal, such as an elephant. Might it be enough to stop it, make it faint?
If I were you, I wouldn't bank on it.
With this book, you attempted to plan an attack on the elephant?
Your insinuations are out of place. Goliath is a frightening animal. All I wished to do was to understand the creature. As any scientist would do, I researched, analyzed, and drew conclusions.
And what conclusion did you draw?
That Theodore Gilden made the animal miserable. He couldn't provide the proper environment for the beast. My interest in the subject ended there.
Okay.
You have a weakness for nostalgia? Or, rather, do you use it to record a list of enemies?
Young man, you need to check your moral compass. Reading another person's diary is a sin in every culture that I can think of.
But you aren't answering the question.
You've already read it. Why bother? I simply record my life to keep my memory clean from misinterpretation. Letters and pages don't lie.
But the writer of the text can.
Attends.
Remember one of the rules? It seems that you didn't return a tool. Is this knife yours?
Do I look like a fellow who carries a knife? I don't need it.
There are plenty of uses for it on the site, and outside of it.
I have other people to cut ropes for me, Mr. Holmes. I've nothing to add. Moving on. Moving on.
What's with this intricate recruitment process? Pro-British workers charge less?
As a head of this organization, I need to secure a productive environment. It's impossible to do so if there are political differences, especially here, where the native population doesn't support our efforts to find the ancient artifacts.
Decent pay can also stimulate productivity and shut down any political discord. Hadn't you thought of that?
You're young. You have time to fritter and fight with everyone you meet. I don't have such a luxury. Our workers receive enough pay for what they do. So don't start a discussion you know nothing about.
Ok. Désolé, je parle pas beaucoup, mais en même temps, vu qu'il parle. Ah oui, tiens, par rapport à ça.
Moving on.
Tu t'en fous. Ok.
I've nothing to add.
Pas d'autres. Merci.
Did this plan cause a rift in your business relationship with Theodore Gilden?
Nothing like that. Admittedly, we didn't share a common vision of what is more important, the past or the future. In my opinion, we can't build a future without knowing the past.
So you wanted to save the tomb of Vitus here, or perhaps your control over the research?
Only the knowledge that rightly belongs to humankind, nothing less and nothing more.
Ok, alors ici.
I've nothing to add.
Gilden's elephant is quite an unusual addition to Cordona's fauna. What is your scientific opinion on that?
No matter how much Theodore loved it, it still remained a wild animal trapped inside a stone pen. Goliath needs savannas, fields, lakes.
I'm sure that Goliath did not have a plan to kill his owner to head to the savannas. What do you think?
No, animals don't kill in a typical sense. I can only presume that it tried to protect itself from captivity, from Theodore.
Ouais.
It was a gilded cage that was predestined to break.
7 nouvelles fois. Et obtenu. Alors. Un truc ici. Allez, avec ça, Arthur a protégé ses recherches, a dédié sa vie à l'étude de l'histoire de l'humanité. Il n'est peut-être pas prêt à y... Ouais. C'était la saison des amours. On n'a rien. Mais je crois que l'histoire de la saison, je pense que c'est ce qu'il y a. D'ailleurs, c'est peut-être ce qu'il y a dans la sueur d'éléphant, c'est peut-être. Oula, 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 oula. Le jeu. Il n'est pas très fluide chez moi. Hein. J'ai l'air d'aller. Ce repère là. Oui, oui, oui. On va retourner ici. Il y a des choses que j'ai dû oublier de fouiller dans la barre. Là, j'ai plus rien. Alors. Alors ici. Il y avait la chiffre. Ah, c'est... Alors.
A commendable effort to barricade the windows.
Who's a cute bird?
On va fouiller parce que je l'avais pas trouvé cette pièce. Et ici.
False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary. The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales. She packed as much as she could carry.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
Ouais, c'est ça. Alors, du coup, John nous a lancé un défi. Rien. Du coup, John... Alors... Wallace de Khigurum nous emmène dans un voyage exclusif aux côtés du couple le plus crucial lors de l'archéologie, Neb et Laura. Suivez-les dans leur périple pavé d'amour et de trahison et de vengeance pour cette première partie de la trilogie Bazookéologie. Neb, aux muscles d'acier et Laura, la flexible, partent à la recherche de la mystérieuse cité de la Lune. Toutefois, un homme au monocle subdimensionné les suit à la trace dans leur voyage jusqu'au centre de la Terre. Docteur Folos. Des araignées sous-marines géantes, des perroquets venimeux et des momies assoiffées de sang découvrons la science et les connaissances de nos héros. Notre couple de scientifiques bien aimés survivra-t-il à ces dangers? Découvrez-le vite pour la première partie. Dans la première partie des aventures de Neb et Laura. Valise bouclier avait mis des affaires, dans ses bagages, toutes ces bêtes. D'une grande popularité. Alors. On va essayer de partir rapidement en fait. Alors.
How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
Excusez-moi, je me soigne. En parlant de ça, vos
These
valises.
bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
Eh.
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I'll just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Oh, well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit.
Ok, donc on a deux nouvelles preuves. Les valises. Il m'a jamais dit qu'elle prévoyait de partir de l'île avec son partenaire pour commencer une nouvelle vie à l'étranger. J'ai dit cette victoire, je te l'ai dit à toi seul. Finale 1869 pour le phare qui guide ma vie, même au cœur de l'ombre des temps. Un navigateur professionnel, le Whirlpool, son bateau est amarré au club de yacht Salacia, situé dans la partie sud. On s'arrête. Ok, parti. Ça marche. Ah. Et... j'irais bien faire les magasins. Pas des bibliothèques ou des trucs. Le yacht, je l'avais déjà trouvé. Oh, casque à journaux. Pas une librairie. Là, on va aller voir. Alors, donc là on a un costume.
Extra, extra! The hive gets stung! Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Come, take a look at our clothes. The finest clothes for the finest citizens. Of course, think it over. Take your time.
Moi, ce que je...
Masterpieces by local art. Sorry, I have nothing to offer you at present.
Ah non, mais c'est pas ça que je veux.
Sorry, I have nothing to offer you at present. Sorry, I
Oh,
have
vous n'avez rien.
nothing to offer you at present.
Sorry. Alors... Trouver le premier opus. Ok.
May I ask you something?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
How do you do?
يا له من طقس جميل.
Could you help me?
That's a question I can answer.
The champion's whirlpool pulls bread and butter. Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Where would a champion hide a key? We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
You should have a warning to cover your ears.
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea. Sails of hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word. A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
we can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
I hope Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys. A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs. An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these. Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving. Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big. Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty. An interesting place for a message to a champion. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory. Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Don't take it personally, sir. But I know nothing about this.
Could you help me?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful. I've nothing to say about this.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door.
It's chilling to think the monster is free.
Stop shirking. Get dressed properly and come inside. Stop.
Your partner had a very specific attitude towards the things he treasured. Was this habitual for him?
That would have been too much even for him. Don't get me wrong, he had a harsh temper. Like a true businessman, he was ready to burn his competitors to the ground.
But threatening someone physically would have been something new even for him, am I correct?
Absolutely. Besides, I had never seen him this angry. The fellow who received the letter must have been extremely alarmed. Moving on. Moving on. I've nothing to add.
Have you seen this person before? The one beside Imogen Gilden?
No, but he's with Imogen, so I suppose that he's a friend of hers. That girl always has her head in the clouds. I could have said Theodore was different, but that wouldn't have been entirely true.
Away with the fairies, was he?
That's one way of putting it. Either way, I don't know much about Imogen's life or her friends. The type of elite that pretends to be educated. Be swift.